So I have a couple questions for you, and then we are going to discuss those questions in this video and try to come to a conclusion, or at least have me come to a conclusion, and you guys tell me your opinions down in the comment section. But thank you guys so much for stopping by another South Park Phone Destroyer video. So in today's video, we'll be talking about deranking, whether it's right or wrong, and can you get into the top 10 in Legendary and South Park Phone Destroyer? I personally, I want to get started with the top 10 Legendary, and this gameplay in the back will probably be bad because I'm really focusing on the subject at hand. But I would say getting into the top 10 is pretty unlikely for any player who doesn't spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars and farms PvP packs constantly. I would say, I don't know how often they play, but maybe if you play this game like 5 hours a day and you got constant wins, you have a chance. You have a chance at coming back and getting to the level of which all these other really high ranked players are at. Like top 10, maybe even top 50. I don't know necessarily about maybe top 30 and below. So, what is a way to get into the top 10 spot without just getting obliterated by all these really, really great players? I would say, realistically, the only way to get into top 10 is by dropping down a bunch and farming like crazy at Silver Shield or really low Legendary. Let's say right now I would say I have pretty weak cards for Legendary. I don't have all my cards up to level 5. All my common cards, and I don't have all my rares up to 4. So let's just say I drop down to Silver Shield and I constantly farm packs over and over again. What's that going to guarantee me? It's going to guarantee me quicker packs. It's going to guarantee me more cards, regardless of how many more cards I get in Legendary, because I can farm them so much more quickly. And that was a horrible poison. But I can farm them so much more quickly if I just drop down to Silver Shield. Even if it's like a 5-card difference. Let's say it takes me an hour to get 5 more cards in one pack. But if I can farm them in 3 matches every time, let's say I lose 1 every once in a while. But for the most part, it's going to be 3 to 4 matches every single pack. So if it's 3 to 4 matches every pack, then I have a way better chance at competing in the super, super high ranks of this game. I don't know if that's many people's objective to get to those super, super high ranks, but I really would like to, and I feel like the only possible option for me to do that is by dropping and then eventually, inevitably, coming back to Legendary and testing out my skills, trying to get to that really, really high top spot. Of course, you could grind out in Legendary all day and try to get a bunch of packs, but I don't know how realistic that is. Oh my god, another bad poison. Just horrible. That Princess Kenny, for sure, with the help of those gnomes, is going to take out my health bar. Again, you know, I could be playing this a lot better, but I'm trying to focus on the topic at hand. So, do I think it's wrong or right? Deranking, I personally, it really matters what your motives are. If your motives are just to destroy noobs, and that's it, I feel like that's completely wrong and you're kind of fucked up for doing so. But if there's some sort of end game, maybe I'm just justifying it for myself. I could definitely be doing that. But if the end game is to eventually get your cards leveled up enough to eventually push in to maybe a top 100 spot, top 10 spot, I feel like that is justified, at least within my logic. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm just justifying it for myself so I don't feel so bad. But I don't think deranking is that big of a problem. And honestly, I watched One Giant Leap's video on he talked about deranking and what he thinks will happen since Mystical was so fucked over in this update, which I can agree with, especially the spell cards in Mystical. Oh my god, that's such a good poison. That's such a good poison. There's so much value right there. My cards still go down for the most part, but we're gonna drop a We'll drop a dog poo on this Medusa baby and go for a little rush. But basically, in his video, he was talking about how mystical players are going to have to D-rank, possibly into Silver Shield, maybe just low legendaries, so then they can farm up their, farm different cards for different themes, so they can stop using Mystical because Mystical was so fucked over. And they're not gonna have these different themes leveled up enough, so they're gonna have to drop down into Silver Shield or maybe really low legendary to get their cards back up so they can compete. You know, I agree with that. I feel like that that could happen. I don't know how likely it is to happen. I feel like for sure a couple people will do it. I don't know how many people will do it. But I feel like in this next upcoming season there will be a lot of D-rankers, simply for the fact that there's going to be easy PvP packs if you do. Who wants an easy PvP pack? I think everyone does. Everyone wants those easy PvP packs no matter what. But, okay, so let's talk about how it's wrong. It's definitely wrong because you're going to be facing really easy competition, and the players you're facing, they just cannot compete with you because they're not as scummy as you, and they're not dropping down a bunch of levels to get easy PvP packs. They're probably just trying their hardest maybe to get to legendary. I would say for the most part that's the case. Most people just want to get into legendary. There's not a ton, there are people out there who want to just stay where they are so they can get those easy PvP packs, but I would say the vast majority of players just want to compete at the highest level. And that's what I truthfully want to do. That's what I did this season. That's probably what I'll do at the end of next season, but I just don't think the rewards are strong enough to really push me into legendary and make me stay there the whole season. I can get there at the end easily. Maybe I won't be super high up, but I can easily get there by the end of the season. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I really don't see why I would do anything else. Maybe the video quality will be a little bit worse, but I'll probably just try out a bunch of fun decks next season. So expect a lot of those videos, just fun decks all day. Me not really like taking the game too seriously because the wins are just going to be super easy. I don't know if this is a good poison. Fuck, we're gonna do it anyways. The pigeons are kind of annoying to deal with. Come on Terrence, get some shots off. One shot. Yeah, my Terrence is super weak at this point. I'm probably not gonna win this. It's most likely gonna be a draw. But do you guys like? Maybe you don't know too much about the top 10 in this game or top 50. Do you guys think it's realistic at this point having such a disadvantage? Because the top 10 players, they will constantly win over and over again. They're probably playing more than you. So with those constant wins over and over and over again, with them playing more than you, let's say, is there any sort of chance for you to push into a top 10, maybe a top 50 spot without doing something kind of ridiculous, dropping down a bunch of levels? And that's like, I'm really talking to the South Park content creators out there. If you guys are still watching this video, let's say you're top 300, maybe you're 300, 200, whatever. Do you think it's realistic for you ever to be in the #1 spot? Because I know the #1 player has a level 4 Mecha Timmy. I don't have a single Mecha Timmy, and I feel like I've spent a decent amount of money on this game, and I've spent a lot of time playing this game and grinding out PvP packs, grinding out PvE, and to have a level 4 Mecha Timmy is astounding. So yeah, any content creators out there, please leave your comments telling me if you realistically think it's possible for you to ever push into the #1 spot, because you guys know that these people out there who are just getting constant, endless wins because their cards are already so much higher than yours, and then to like top it all off, they're getting way more wins than you, so they're leveling up their cards even more than you can. I feel like there's just this huge gap in top 10 and top 200, which maybe there should be realistically, but How are regular players, how are any sort of players, even those hardcore gamers out there, how are they ever supposed to catch up? Is there a way to catch up? Or is it just mustard from here on out? We'll see. Yep, I'm trash, guys. Maybe that's why I wanted to drop down and get those easy-ass wins. I can just blame it on me really just not focusing on the gameplay too much, but let me tell you guys. Call me a girl, whatever. Frappuccino, a cold one from Starbucks. Oh my god. This shit is so fucking good. I feel like I've missed some points. I've had some better things to talk about. But do you guys think it's right to drop levels to basically farm PvP packs? I can definitely see it both ways, where you think, oh my god, that's so fucking scummy. I hate you for doing that. But I hope you guys can see it from my perspective as well. Let's get Space Warrior token charge into the tower. And Hook Hand Clyde just murders my dreams. Thank you, Hook Hand Clyde. You're always there to do that for me. I appreciate that. For me, personally, I'll just tell you my final thoughts. I feel like top 10 is basically unachievable for a regular player who's not spending thousands. And at this point, the top 10, it's so far ahead of everyone else that it's going to stay so far ahead of everyone else. Let's say you have a billionaire. So you have a billionaire who's investing all of his money into a ton of different businesses. He's already so far ahead of you that your $1 million is not ever going to compete to his 1 billion, because he's doing just as much work as you, but it's easier for him because he has way more money, and he's always going to stay 1 step ahead, if not 10 steps ahead. For the deranking aspect of it, I can see it both ways. For me personally, I understand why you derank, but one funny thing I forgot to mention, I feel like there's going to be so many people deranking in this game, so many derankers, that Silver Shield 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, and 45 are basically going to be either low level legendary or really high level legendary, depending upon the people who drop out of legendary. It's going to be crazy. I don't see any incentive to push into legendary, honestly. That legendary pack is garbage. There's no point for it. Maybe if you're in like the top 100, top 50, top 10, then it's worth it. But other than that, guys, I don't, like, even in the top 10, I feel grinding out PvP packs in Silver Shield is so much better if you're really trying to grind out your levels. But that's just my opinion. I'm excited to see Silver Shield next season. It's going to be funny. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be level 6 troops all over the fucking board. Maybe Silver Shield will be harder than Legendary. Who knows?